once. Maybe we can be on chill tonight. Maybe I can give you chills too quick.
Hello all, I am reporting live from the middle of the Western Caribbean Sea on my family cruise for my dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. He turned 50. Today we're going to talk about period sex. Just like everything I talk about is not for everybody. Know your likes, know your dislikes, know what you're willing to be adventurous with and what you're not. Some people think it's absolutely disgusting. I would disagree. It is what it is. It's a natural thing. A lot of women are, in my opinion, like scared of their periods. Like, we don't talk about it. We try to hide tampons and pads and all of that. And it's just not something that is just brought up in a lot of conversations. So there's a lot of things that people don't know about it. There are always good and bad when it comes to anything, but there are definitely some upsides to having period sex. So the very first upside would be relief. Having sex on your period can definitely give you some relief because of the orgasm you're having. The epinephrine is being released, oxytocin is being released, serotonin is being released, and when you're on your period, honestly, what's happening is the lining of your uterus is shedding, and so your uterus is super contracted. When you have an orgasm, your uterus also contracts, but the difference is it's not just staying tensed up. Once you do have your release, it also releases, which can give you some relief when it comes to like cramps or just general discomfort in your uterine area. Number two, it can possibly give you shorter periods, depending on, who you are and how you are. Some people have like 3-day periods. Some people just spot for an extended period of time. I've had a period that was like 2 weeks long. And honestly, I was mad. I was like, bro, this shit not over yet. I'm trying to, let's not act. So, when you are having sex and you are on your period, I would encourage you to start either at the beginning when it's super light or at the end when it's super light. Those are also going to be your horniest periods, unless you're somebody who's just horny throughout and at some point it just goes into overdrive, which is 100% possible. All bodies are different and all hormones are different. So know who you are. Usually in the middle of a period, it's like bloody murder though. So you got to work with your partner if there's something they're comfortable with. A lot of young men that I'm realizing don't have a problem with it. Actually, I was talking to a bi young man. He was like, I ain't worried about no blood. Well, goddamn, okay, you're more comfortable with my body than I am. That's cool. Sorry, I got off topic. So, number two would be shorter periods. When you are having sex on your period, that in and out motion will force your body to release a lot of your lining sooner than maybe it had anticipated, like what would have happened naturally. So that's a thing. It can totally cut your period down, or depending on like the amount of horny you are and how much you're trying to get in, your period can stop for a short period of time. Like, it can just stop while you're fucking and then you wake up the next day and you're right back on it. It's happened. It's totally normal and it's totally natural. There's nothing wrong with you. And, kudos to you because you didn't have to, clean up a mess after if you were doing it in the bed. So number three is going to be an increased libido and or sex drive. Like I was already saying, a lot of women report that they have an increased sex drive when they're ovulating, which is going to be 2 weeks prior to your period. But a lot of us, like I said, right before, sometimes during the whole damn thing, or right at the end, your sex drive is just like, I need it right now. So if you're a person who needs it right now, you don't have to wait. As long as your partner's down with it, or if your partner isn't down with it, use a toy. Most of these toys are waterproof. Use it in a shower, use it in a tub, whatever you're comfortable with. And if you're trying to do it in the bed and be your most comfortable, go ahead and lay your towel down. They even got like special sheets for period sex, so that there's really no cleanup. You just rinse that hoe off, and then you put it back on if you're trying to do it again. So, know your sex drive. If you don't know it, think about it, watch it, figure it out. Maybe you're 2 weeks before, maybe you're during, maybe you're right after, right before. But figure out where you are and if you're trying to fuck. The fourth one, which is kind of funny in my opinion, would be natural lubricant. The the uterine content is definitely gonna be slippery, sticky, and all of that good stuff. So you don't need any extra lubricant. If you're somebody who's not naturally super wet, this is one of those times where you can really like ride him into the sunshine, because you don't need any help, and there's no reason for you to stop and pull out the KY or whatever you are using to make yourself more wet. Number 5. Most women report that while they're on their period, they have like migraines. I definitely am one of those who, not every period, but sometimes like I get really bad migraines, and that's not something I get on a regular basis. I'm not a headache person, so I know it's coming because now I have a headache. It will either relieve some of it or completely get rid of it because of all those good hormones that are being released when you do orgasm. All the ones we've already talked about: epinephrine, serotonin, oxytocin, just all the good natural painkillers that you don't have to go find. So you can get some, and now you don't have a headache no more. So you don't have to wait for your period for that. If you're a person who gets headaches, it might help you out. So besides possibly, making things dirty, the only other real downside is the possible spread of STDs. So I am definitely a proponent of getting tested regularly, using condoms regularly, especially if you're doing period sex. You should definitely be wrapping it up, even if you're not doing it on a regular basis. Glove or no love, just period. So if you and your partner, well, I don't care how long you and your partner have been together, honestly, still get tested. Always get tested, because even if you are in a long-term relationship, something that happened 6 months ago could be popping up right now. Some people are asymptomatic, so they could have something and not even know that they're giving it to you. Actually, a lot of people are asymptomatic, so keep that in mind. So they don't even know. So it's not like malicious in any way. It's just lack of knowledge. If you're having sex with somebody who's maybe not your long-term partner, and you are also having period sex, you need to get tested. So the only real downside that I can find, besides making a mess, is STDs. But everybody out there should be getting tested. We're too old, we're too grown, and we are in a world where anything is fucking possible. So go get tested on a regular basis. I go every 3 months. I demand that my partners go. I said demand. You should demand that your partners go too, because your sexual health is your responsibility. And if you out here just doing whatever, that's fine. No shame at all. Just make sure that you and your partners are being safe about it and getting tested regularly. So, if you are having period sex, make sure you take your tampon out. All vaginas are different, but sometimes when you are, in the mood and you're doing whatever you're doing, shit happens. If you so happen to, if he so happens to insert before you have a chance to be like, hey, let me go take my tampon out, go to a doctor, because if it's up there, you can get all kinds of crazy infections, and it's just not worth it. Just go to the doctor immediately. Don't. Unless you can pull it out, then pull it out as quickly as possible. Something else that needs to be debunked, because apparently people don't know, you can get pregnant at any point in life, like on your period, off your period. If you're a person who has short periods, you're actually more likely to get pregnant than somebody who has longer periods. Something that you should know and think about. But like I've already said, if you're having period sex, you should without a doubt use a condom. Like I don't got nothing else for that. You need to use a glove to get some love. It's just safer for everybody. I honestly think that's all I have. This is a shorter video. I'm sorry it wasn't up on Friday. The carnival was not having it with my Wi-Fi, and so the video would not upload. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, always hit my line. Misinterpretation, MIS says INTERPERTATION _ Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.